Hello everyone, my name's Chris Oakley and you are watching Videoblog number 4, courtesy of the Football Attic. Now, if you're a regular visitor to the Football Attic website, which is www.thefootballattic.com, then you will know that this is the fourth in a series, a very occasional series, in which I speak to you through the medium of video to discuss and tell you about an item that I have randomly plucked from my football memorabilia collection. And once again, today I have for you a book which some of you may have seen, but I suspect not many. It's a book that I mentioned on one of our previous podcasts a long time ago. I think it was the first podcast in which myself and my co-blogger Rich Johnson talked about football kit design. If you listen to that podcast, then you will know that I mentioned a book called Club Colours, and it just so happens that I have it here for you today. Here it is. I'll get that in shot. There we are. Perfect. Yes, Club Colours, made in 1998, published in 1998, I should say. Words and pictures, I think, by Bob Bickerton. Bob Bickerton is the author. As you'll see, there are lots of illustrations inside, which is kind of what makes the book what it is. But fundamentally, it is a book all about, as it says in the sort of the strapline, an illustrated history of football clubs and their kits. So if football kits are your thing, this is the sort of book that I'm sure you will have been looking around for at some point in the past, if you're not looking for it now. Of course, we're all blessed and privileged by the fact that there's the True Colours books easily available to us, made by the legend that is John Devlin. For those in those books, basically what you get are some fantastically illustrated football kits and a real history of sort of recent history, really, of football kit design for many clubs, going back to round about 1980, I think it is, generally speaking, in True Colours. This book provides something different. It gives you a selection of some of the kits for all of the teams in the Football League at the time of publishing, which is 1998. So all 92 Football League clubs are featured, and it's a curious book. So let's have a look inside, basically. First of all, just going through the first few pages here as I do. The general format is that you get a double-page spread like this, which hopefully you can see. There we go. Now you probably can't hear me. If I hold it up like that, there you go. So you get a double page spread, and on the left hand page what you get is just trying to get this in shot. There we are. On the left hand page, as you can see, you get one big sort of illustration, a sketch of one of the kits worn by one of the 92 Football League clubs, in this case Arsenal. And around that big illustration, that big sketch, what you get is a broad brush history of that particular club. Notable points in their history and formation and that kind of thing. On the right hand page, as you can see, there are a selection of designs, illustrations showing some of the football kits that were worn by that club during their history. Not every single kit they've ever worn, as you can see, just a selection. In this case, we've got 2, 5, 9 different kits there, Arsenal kits. And you probably can't see this. I'm going to show you a close-up illustration here at this point. What you also get on that page, with those sort of cigarette card style designs, is a full rundown of where each team finished in the Football League throughout its history. So, you know, starting from 1800 and whatever it is, up to 1998, it tells you which division they were in and where they finished that season. Apologies if you can hear a helicopter rumbling by with perfect timing. The local pilot has decided to go for a bit of a spin in his chopper. Anyway, so basically looking at this sort of two-page format that you get for every team. First things first, the main illustration that you get on the left-hand page, thus, there we are. It's just the reason I always have trouble holding these things up to the camera is because the image I can see, which is what you're seeing, is kind of flipped to what I'm kind of doing. So if I turn it to the left, it's going to the right, and that's why I'm always a bit confused. Sorry about that. So yeah, on the left-hand page, you get this main illustration. Now, it's beautifully sketched in each case, no matter which team we're looking at here. Here's the one for Brentford, for instance. There we go again, all confused. Each of these kind of main illustrations is done in a kind of coloured pencil style, kind of cross-hatched style, and each one is absolutely beautiful. It's really nicely done, very nice indeed. And then on the right-hand page, where you get these little, I'm kind of calling them cigarette card illustrations, they look as though they've been done either by pencil or maybe done using kind of paints. I think it is pencil from what I can see. Now, these images, all of these images are really wonderfully done. As I say, from what I can make out, they're actually done by Bob Bickerton himself, the author. And they're excellent, but one thing immediately comes to mind, and that is that compared to, say, the True Colours books by John Devlin, the boldness of the colour and the use of colour and the way that all these things are done is not quite as strong and easy to see as they are in, say, True Colours or perhaps one or two other football kit books, or indeed football kit websites. There's lots of archives on the web nowadays, people creating football kit illustration galleries. So this kind of pencil style cross-hatching and everything, it makes for a sort of softer use of colours. And it's a more artistic approach, but that's good, I think. I mean, it's not as clear. The pictures aren't as clear as I say in some of the other sort of sources that I mentioned, like True Colours. But I think it's very valid. And obviously, if everyone did their illustrations and designs the same way, then it would be a very dull place. So I think there's definitely a place for this style of artistic illustration. It's very nice. It makes a nice change. So. The other thing as well, just mentioning about these final positions in the league every season, I'm not entirely sure there's a need for it, because essentially this is a book all about football kit designs and colours and club colours and everything, and okay, useful information, but I'm not sure it's actually, strictly speaking, relevant. But I suppose by the same token you could sort of say, well, you know, certain kits you can see if they were very visible, like for instance, you know, if you were looking at say a Manchester United kit for 2002, you know that it would be in the Premier League, so therefore, because it's the Premier League, loads of people would be watching it on TV and it would be widely seen. Whereas if you were looking at a Manchester United kit from, and I'm probably going to get this wrong, about 1974, 73, 74, they'd have been in the second division then, so therefore, conceivably, that kit for that season may not have been as well seen. So maybe that's the reason for having all these kind of league position statistics in here. But anyway, as I say, I mean, there's loads of teams featured. I'll put up some of these pictures just so you can see a few more. Very nice indeed. And it's great that every single one of the 92 clubs is featured, just so that no one's left out. I mean, you've got everyone here from you know, Liverpool, Manchester United, Chelsea, all the way down to the likes of, I don't know, let's say Kidderminster Harriers for are Kidderminster Harriers featured in this? I know it's that kind of level, you know, Wycombe Wanderers, that kind of thing. That's kind of what I'm trying to mistakenly say. And the other nice little thing as well is that on the right-hand page, that I mentioned before, with all these little cigarette card pictures, usually somewhere on the page there's also a little motif, something that's also been sketched in kind of cross-hatched with pencil. Like on this page, for instance, for Chester City, which you can probably now see fully. Over on the right-hand page, the little motif that's featured is the top of a shirt, which is green with a yellow collar. Now, that's not randomly chosen. It's because of this kit here, which apparently Chester used to wear in the 1961-62 season. Green shirt with a yellow collar. So they just kind of echo some notorious and maybe little-known aspect of the club's kit history somewhere on the page. And there's a few nice ones of these. Other great examples, Brighton, for example, on their page you'll see that the author, the illustrator, has detailed the famous, well, I say famous, it's what we call the Tesco carrier bag kit, which had blue and white stripes on the shirt, which then also continued onto the shorts. And it's been detailed that you've got the bottom of the shirt at the top of the page and the top of the shorts at the bottom, so you kind of see how they kind of matched up. Similarly, on the Coventry City page, you've got an illustration of the famous Tramlines kit made by Admiral back in the day. On the Leeds page, you've got a bit of a detail there with the socks and the tags, the little number tags that they used to have in their socks in the early 70s. And Tottenham's page features their famous long shorts that they wore in the 1991-92 season. So that's a nice little touch, nice bit of detailing. Now, as well as all the club pages, the double page spreads, there's also a number of features, again, double page features scattered throughout the book. And those are also quite interesting. Right at the start of the book, there's a double page spread saying, "Do you know your colours?" And there you see a sort of team lineup, lots of different team kits shown, and you're invited to see if you can work out which team is represented by which kit, because obviously if you go way back to the late 1800s, early 1900s, many clubs were wearing team colours and indeed team kits that are completely unrecognisable to what we know today. So that's a nice little feature. There's also other features on bizarre early strips and clubs no longer in the league, famous winning away strips and indeed hated away strips. There's also influential strips, innovators and innovations. So obviously people like Admiral and their tram lines and so on. Advertising and sponsorship, manufacturers. Lots of stuff featured in the book. It's really excellent. You'll find it, I think, a bit tricky to get hold of this because, I bought this probably a couple of years ago via eBay. And you don't see it crop up that much. And so my advice would be, if you do see it, try and grab it while you can, because it's a really good book, very good, very interesting book. And as I say, very nicely illustrated as well. I've not checked. I was going to check before I started this video to see if there were any on eBay and how much they cost. But my advice would be just to obviously go and find that out for yourself if you can. You might also find it available via amazon.co.uk. There might be a couple of used copies available there. This one is also a bit rough around the edges. It's not in pristine condition, but that's not a problem for me. I was just curious to see what the book was like, really. Suffice to say, actually, this particular copy apparently was once among the many titles you'd have found at Stockport Library. I think this is an ex-library copy, which, for whatever reason, found its way outside the boundaries of the library itself, and there we go, Metropolitan Borough of Stockport Libraries. So I didn't steal it, by the way. I bought it from eBay, not knowing that was the case, just in case anybody wants to arrest me. So there we go. That's Club Colours by Bob Bickerton, 1998. 224 pages, really jam-packed full of stuff. I'm sure you'll enjoy it if you can find a copy. If you do, or if you own the book already, get in touch with us. Drop us a line, admin@thefootballattic.com, or you can get in touch with us via Facebook, facebook.com/thefootballattic, I think, on that one. The caption will tell you what the correct address is. Twitter.com/footballattic. And as I say, www.thefootballattic.com if you want to listen to any of our podcasts, if you want to see previous video blogs that I've done, or indeed if you want to immerse yourself in the world of football nostalgia, that is the place to go to. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Hope to speak to you again sometime much more sooner, we hope, for another Football Attic video blog. Until then, from me, goodbye.